Welcome. Welcome to Life of Lucretia. I am so glad you're here, or that you are going to come eventually. Let's see, I have a comment here. Catherine Cook, from Catherine Cook. Well, welcome, and I'm glad you're here, and good evening to you and Homer, both. I was going to try something else. I was going to try something out. And I'm going to go back here for just a moment, since I'm not seeing anybody yet. You know how things kind of get a little bit... All right, I see what I did wrong. See, I've learned something already in this live stream. And I've just been here a few seconds. I'm going to scroll down. And I am turning on a little of some music here. Just sit it for a second and think about what... Oh, you're back. Well, thank you, Catherine. I'm glad you're back. So, a couple of things. Thought I would play a game tonight. I'm going to play a game. I've got a bingo game I found. I'm going to try it out. I've not done it before, so we'll see if it works. And some information about some weather-related stuff happening or going to be happening. And I needed kind of a definition of what something meant. And so that's another piece of what I'm sharing, because I think I'm not the only person who's heard this definition related to weather. And maybe you need a definition of what it means too when you're thinking about your own local community. So yeah, there's that. And then just curious how everybody else has been doing, how your week has been, and what's coming up in December, last part of November and into December. The exciting, interesting things going on in the community. And then finally, I'm going to give an opportunity in case, if somebody would like to come up and share some stuff with others. And I always am welcoming to other people on my channel that I know and have good intentions. But I'm also well aware that there can be poorly intentioned people out there as well. And I am careful. I'm going to be very careful about that. And that means I have to actually go into YouTube here for a moment and pull up my live stream and be prepared if anything negative happens. All right. Now, Catherine, can you hear that little bit of music? I'm very curious. And how are you guys doing? Yes. So is it very loud, or is it just kind of sitting there in the background? Because I don't want it overly loud. Just kind of sit there in the background, just looping. Not that it's going to loop forever, because there's a couple of others that I might use as well. And I've got my color very wrong on here, which is making me crazy. And I think, I'm not somebody who can go too much more crazy. So I would like to try and get that right. Okay, it's a little loud for you. Okay, well, you're not the only one with earbuds, I'm sure. So I'm going to turn it down. Significantly. You know, it's just supposed to be sitting there in the background anyways. All right, looks like there's 4 people here in the chat right now. I would love to hear who you are. Alex of Oregon, thank you, Alex, for popping in. I always appreciate you, very much so. Okay, Catherine, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, well, okay. All right. All right. So, one more time. All right. Number 20. It's not asking me for the number yet. Okay, there it is. All right. So what are you guys up to, Catherine? Anything exciting? Have you had any snow? Because we have not had snow, nor will we probably have snow. And I would love to have snow. I would love to have snow.
You're at 2015 subscribers.
Well, I'm now at 2015 subscribers. So I'm going to give a little here we go. A little I haven't, as you know, anybody who knows the genesis of this channel, I've not been able to focus on it for long periods at a time, and to know that I'm still growing organically despite that, I am very, very happy. Just cold mornings and nights. We are in the low 70s. Okay, well, are you in an area that you will get snow? Just curious about that. Because it seems like I was thinking that you are in an area that will get snow. We have just been in that same kind of weather. It's nice. We've had some rain. Off and on, some pretty extreme rain, but not as bad as it could be. We can get really severe rain, which will bring me to this part of, let's see. So a little bit of weather information. So there's 3 areas right now. 3 areas that are having or will have some pretty extreme weather. There's an atmospheric river expected in California and the Southern Great Basin. So I read up on this. Here's what an atmospheric river is. And I need to know this because we get them here in Oregon and in Lane County quite a bit. It says it's a long, narrow corridor of concentrated water vapor in the atmosphere that transports moisture from the tropics toward the mid-latitudes. These rivers in the sky can drop significant amounts of rain and snow on land, which is essential for water supplies, but can also cause flooding and mudslides and other damage, especially, as those rivers fill up and spill over. We've seen that in California this last year, or maybe it was at the beginning, I think it was last summer, actually, this summer or spring, when the flooding happened in California and several children's camps were flooded severely and there was several deaths. So that always makes me a little bit concerned. And then Louisiana is going to have super fog, is blanketing parts of the state, reducing visibility. Now, we have had that as well. I was out in the morning time earlier this week. I put up a little short about that. I was in downtown Eugene and it was very foggy, and I could see, but it was definitely very foggy. It was about 8:30 in the morning. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of fog. I had an experience in fog that was my own fault, but I should not. I chose to drive. So what I did is, hubby and I decided one time several years ago. Our son was about 4 or 3. We decided to go from our home in Eugene, which is about 100 miles from the coast. We are inland about 100 miles from the coast. Not even that, 60 miles, 65, something like that, as a crow flies from the coast. And we decided to go on a little drive at 10 o'clock at night. We decided to leave home and go to the coast. And we were living with my father at the time, and he was adamant that we not go. He did not want us to take our son and travel out into the fog. Well, we insisted. You know, we understand. We're both very good drivers, and we will be careful. It can't possibly be that bad. It was that bad. It was, how bad was it, you say? It was so bad that we were creeping along at certain points at like 5 miles an hour. And it was horrific. I was terrified. And so it was bad. And we were foolish to have done what we did. We put ourselves and our child at risk. So I'm very careful with fog. Very careful with fog. Oops. Sun just went down. Yes, we will get snow. We are in the mountains. Okay. So sun is going down here, but it's not, it's 4:17 here. So we're not, we don't have we're not having, our sun is not ready to start its setting process, but it's darker out. Let's see. In Louisiana, so additionally, Louisiana, I already said Louisiana is where the super fog is happening. Okay. We got California in there. All right. So climate outlook. So they're looking at the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, is expecting a weak La Nina pattern to persist throughout the beginning of winter and into 2026. So what is a weak La Nina pattern? So, these are questions I have for myself. So, weak La Nina. Pull it on here. We're going to add I'm just trying to add something onto the screen. Come on now. Don't be a big pooper. I swear, sometimes. There we go. All right, share. All right. So what that means is weak La Nina pattern is a climate pattern characterized by a cooler than average sea surface temperature in the Pacific with a less than average magnitude. So this typically means La Nina weather impacts may be less pronounced. So it's not going to be as cold. Apparently going forward. Historically, weak La Ninas can bring above average snowfall. Above average snowfall to the northern U.S., colder temperatures to the northern states, and warmer, drier conditions to the southern. So, I may get my wish after all. If Santa cares about me at all, we know what Lucretia's needing. Okay. So that was that. And we have a couple comments. Well, let me go back up here. Welcome, Charv Heart. So glad you're here. And it will be fully dark here in about an hour. Super dark. You're 2 hours ahead of us. We are still at it's 4:30ish, and we are just getting to the dark area. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so they want to know the truth. So I got spooked, and it is how it is because I got spooked. For a couple of months, we've been dealing. So the people that live directly behind us, and this is a very narrow lot. There's not a lot of space between our back patio or deck and the backyard behind us, maybe 30 feet, something like that, 40 feet. And they got chickens. So guess what we got? Not chicken eggs, no. We have been dealing with it. Started with mice, and now it's rats. Full-blown rats have been in the house. I've never seen one. And by the way, I've only had to deal with one mouse in my life at the home I lived most of my life in, one time, and my father and I were able to get rid of it. It was in the fireplace, and we just scooped it into a bag and tossed it outside. Well, these are full-blown rats. My son-in-law has paid close to $3,000 to an organization here that gets rid of these little animals. And as a matter of, so I haven't had to deal with them. My son-in-law, my son and my husband have. And my son-in-law, this big 6'3" big guy, terrified of them just like I am. And he's been traumatized by them. Although last night he was feeling a little less traumatized and trying to convince me they're similar to squirrels, just without the cute tail. No. No one's going to try to parallel squirrels and rats to me. Okay? And so the rodent people have been out several times, done their thing. We live in a manufactured home, and so they've had to go in and they've had to put retrofit different things to try and deal with the openings. Well, there's clearly a problem, and we have to. He's going to be back out, whether it's today or tomorrow. They saw 4 last night. So anyways, today I was in the process of getting ready, and they never been out during the daytime, ever. And they're usually out they come out late at night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and they traumatize my son-in-law and my son and my husband. Well, my husband, not so much, but they don't come out during the day. Well, I was in my bedroom, sitting on the side of my bed, getting ready to get dressed. And my son came in and he said, Mom, well, he came in a couple of times and he was kind of looking around, and I'm like, I just wasn't thinking, but I thought that was odd, and then he came in and he said, Mom, can you just get up and go in the living room? And I felt panic start in my stomach, got hot inside, like it was bubbling fear and molten lava. And it started spreading up into my chest. I could feel it in my chest. My heart rate went way up. If I'd had my blood pressure cuff on, I can guarantee you it was high. And then he told me that he was sitting in his chair and he could kind of see down the hallway, and he saw where one scurried out from behind the washer and dryer and went down the hall. And there's 3 bedrooms and a bathroom down there. And ours is at the very end, like straight is our door. And he went in and my husband, Richard, went in and they looked around with the flashlight. And they assured me they looked under everything, under the bed, behind everything, that they have looked everywhere and that there is nothing in our bedroom. But I was panicky because they're sneaky and they can hide. That's how they have evolved over. I think my son-in-law said 19 million years. He actually told the rodent remover, he said, you know, you've been doing this 10 years. They've been around 19 million. My money is on them. Yeah. So it's just very scary for me. I don't like it. I don't like things like that. So anyways, it took me longer to finish getting ready today. And I didn't, you know, anyways, but so thank you. Thank you. I was doing it under duress. Trust me. Doing it under duress. All right. So in your neck of the woods, Charvhart, what kind of weather do you have? Do you just have a regular, you know, kind of, I don't even know what regular would mean to you, but are you someplace that will get snow this winter or rain, you know, just rain? Do you like where you live? Do you like the weather patterns? I'm someone who really does enjoy the nasty weather. I know. I would not know what to do if I lived somewhere where it was nice all year long. It's just not for me. I really do like the storms, the gray skies, because there is contrast. It's beautiful. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And so I'm not looking forward to winter here. And I like that our summers are getting hotter as things are changing in many places. Where I normally live, it might snow at most a month total, a space of maybe 3 days at a time from snow to melt. You always look beautiful. Oh, I haven't never seen you looking bad, and we have camped together. Thank you, Catherine. Well, I certainly can. I am a person who really does like dressing up, and all of the time that I had to spend in bed, I just couldn't wait to be up and mobile and able to do what I normally would do. It's 50s to 40s deep winter, and day most times at 30s to upper 20s. That's kind of like the upper 20s to 30s for us here in Lane County is what it's like most of the time. And we may get some sprinkles of snow, but I'm just really talking sprinkles. We're at like 500 feet, between 5 and 550 feet above sea level. So we don't get it. We're not positioned correctly. North in Portland, which is our largest town, which is a big town, it does get snow every year. Doesn't always.
388.
Actually, we're at 388 feet. I lied to you. We're at 388 feet. Alex just checked. So we're just really not meant to snow. We've had it where there's been, and also this county where we live in is really weird. Where we've had snow on the coast, and there's been no snow in the valley in Lane County. We live in what's called the Willamette Valley, and the Willamette Valley does not like snow. We are rarely 40s to 20s over 2 weeks max total snow. It's been 50 to 70 so far in daytime. Yeah, we are averaging, I think, something similar to that. 640 above sea level. So you get a little bit of snow. It doesn't really stay long, but you at least get some snow. I saw that, I believe Chicago had their first snow, and I was jealous of Chicago. This area is close to sea level, swamps in outskirts. Are you in Florida? Or maybe one of the Carolinas, Louisiana, maybe? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm just always curious about that kind of stuff. All right, so now, as I said, we were going to play a game. I want to turn that sound down because, oh, that's background music. Okay. I'm turning that off for now. So we are going to play Bingo Blitz. Now, again, I have not played this. I need to move my phone. I'm thankful we haven't. Catherine, you probably remember the weirdo we've had on the last few of my streams. And so I wanted to make sure that I could get to my phone quickly. All right, now I'm going to need to share my screen. Oh, Louisiana. Okay. Nice. I'll tell you, there is places. I've watched the alligator people. I love the alligator hunters. And there's places there that it would be amazing to go and see. I wanted to go out on a boat and with one of these people. They did a lot of landscaping to grow on top of swamplands. Not near as bad in sinking, not near as bad in sinking as loud. Becky in Indiana had a foot of snow recently. Oh. See, there are places. That's where Christmas should happen. All right. So I'm going to add this, share the screen with Bingo Blitz. Share. All right. Now, I haven't played this before, so we will have to see how it works. Meowza, the world is even bigger than I imagined. Catalina, here we come. I have no idea. Traveling to Catalina. I'm assuming this is Catalina Island off California's coast. All right. Let's play on 2 cards. Let's see, what's this? All right. Waiting for, oh goodness. All right. So see, there we go. I wasn't aware of that. Oh no. All right. Hold on. Settings.
Go! B1. N31.
Okay, general.
G56.
Oh.
B15.
Oh goodness.
O69. O72. O66. B3. B6.
I have a feeling I'm
I-22.
really far behind. Okay, I-22.
I-30. O67.
O67.
B5. O64. O71.
O71.
I-27. N43. B10.
B10.
B2. G48. O74.
Let's see here. I think
I20. N40.
N40.
I16.
I16.
G51. O68. N44. B14.
Well,
B4.
this wasn't exactly what I was imagining.
G46. Round over.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop the screen. And I'm going to go back to the StreamYard. You're above. Oh, no. I'm going to shut that off. About 2 hours above Louisiana. We're about 2 hours from the first town. Okay. There's so many in Arkansas. There's so many beautiful places in this country, interesting places I have not yet got to see. The South is one of those areas. And I would love to be able to go over to the Eastern Seaboard and travel the whole length of it. Now, admittedly, Florida's my least, where I have the least interest, but I have interest. Certainly, I have interest in Florida. It would be a nice place to see, but it's not a bucket list location. Other than there's some of the old towns in Florida that were started by, I believe it's the Spanish, that are beautiful old architecture. And I am an architecture person. I love it. I love architecture. So that would be, one of the places and to see. Let me. I'm looking for something real quickly here. I would love to be able to. Have you ever played Hidden Object? A hidden object game. I have one on my phone, but I can't get to it from here. Okay. So I am putting it on my desktop so that we can, and we could. That's something that we could do together. We could. Okay, this is. Okay, I found it. In my downloads file is what I was looking for. Just quickly install it. And while it's installing, I will bring this back up. I love hidden objects. So I do a lot of hidden objects, and also I like I'll tell you right here in my games. I have been doing the the picture, the painting pictures online. This one is fall, but I have a bunch that I have done of different things. And I usually do these. I do them a lot in bed when I'm just laying there because I go to bed kind of early. And so I really like, it helps me focus. It helps me calm down, and it helps me think about nothing. I do that on missed play and get points that I can cash in for gifts. Have you been able to actually do been able to cash in? I mean, I know what missed play is, and I thought about giving that a try before. I do another one where I have made money. It's not on games, but it is BuzzFeed, Amazon. I use the most, or Visa card. Yeah. So to make it, and I'm telling you, I've made about $1,000 doing this. I'm going to find it here. It is called D-Scout. D-Scout, I've made money on. And what it is that you fill out a questionnaire about your life, about things you do, things you like. If you're a homeowner, if you have a car, if you're car insurance, if you have credit cards, your insurance, like medical insurance. For instance, I did I think it was 7 days. I did what was called a journal entry one, where I took my I had to take events from my medical world, from my medical life, from that, and show on video or a picture things like I filled out my pillbox for the week. So I took a video of me doing my pillbox and sent that in. And then also, I had to talk about what it was like to order. I had to show ordering medication one week. That's one of the things I did for one of my activities. So on average, $5 to $10 gift cards or Visa. So if when you're game playing, that would be great. I'm saying, if you want to make some money, it can be made on D-Scout. Now, my son says he has tried and it doesn't work for him. I'm going to look at his profile and see, because, he's a homeowner. He is, owns car, pays car insurance, does this, does that, has a job. He knows how to do so many things. So he should get a lot of play with that. There's things for disabled people with disabilities, something such as what do you use for mobility device, for instance. So there's so many things. It doesn't matter if you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, there's something for everybody. And I've made as much as $200 or $250 on one 7 day. And it was just, took me 10 minutes to 30 minutes. For those things, it took a little bit of time, but it wasn't a big deal by any means. I mean, really, what else am I doing? People, I should actually do a video of something to do with D-Scout. I really think it's something people can make money at. A month, if I play hearts, maybe 20, 2 different $10 cards. I'd like to make more. Can you type the spelling in? Yep. It's D-S-C-O-U-T. That's all. It's D-Scout. And I'll see if I can find something D-S-C-O-U. And there's even ones where you can make a little bit more money by doing like a 45-minute live with a coach or a researcher or something. There's surveys. There's just all kinds of things someone can do on Dscout. Oh, that's the wrong one. And I downloaded it on, I believe, Google Play. I am just looking here. Like, all right, I'm going to sign in to my account. Okay, and I will connect us up to this, and you can see some of what it does. Share the screen. All right, so I'm going to go over, I'm on my closed missions. So here is some of the things that I've done. What makes good versus bad commercial content? And I believe that had to do with going on to my Google, oh, it's called, let me think of what it's called. You know, Google, like this right here. And the Google Stream. Money, conversations about loans. Another one I did, help us, oh, here we go. Help us prioritize features for digital healthcare experience. This one, I believe I made about $200 on, something like that, maybe 75. It doesn't say. And then there was caring for furry friends, you know, about my dog. So maybe it included what we do for care, such as bathing, you know, what kind of food. Tech. And I am not a techie person, so this, I'm sure, was not a fun one for me. Another one, oh, shopping habits. Definitely. Now this one was kind of fun because I got to, you know, really talk about my own habits. Transportation benefits, getting things done. Oh, tell us how you shop for clothes and accessories. That was a pretty simple one. And that I was able to use the particular locations, whether it be Walmart or it be, oh, can't even think of the name of it, but all Target, all of those, any place like that. Just managing subscriptions. So I found out that I had, in at least 2 occasions, multiple subscriptions in a couple different ways. I didn't need to be paying for all of those. And then they have these things called express missions, which are usually like very quick, 10 minutes, immediate 10 minutes. And how you get paid is it goes into a PayPal account. So you have to have a PayPal account. And you know, I guess I should have checked that before I closed. Let's go back there and see if I do. That would be great if I did. Dscout. Okay. Sign in. Because that would be wonderful. Now I'm just going to go over to me real quick, my profile, and see if that. All right. I earned $955 to be exact on 16 missions. They call them missions. And I don't see any place that gives me I wish I had, but I do not see a referral code. So but that's a good thing. I'm going to suggest to them is, why don't you have referral codes? Doesn't make sense to me that they don't. And you really can make some decent money. And that was really just, so what I did is in the evening time, I would take a half an hour. I would, go leave my family, and I would go into my room and I would just sit there and go through all the things they had open and available for me. So everything that I applied for, I didn't always get. Sometimes you apply and do this quick questionnaire, and it says it's not a good fit. Okay, that takes maybe a minute to fill out, a minute and a half to fill out. And if it is, then you're either directed there immediately, or you get an invitation. They tell you that it will be looked at, and you may get an invitation, you may not. So just because you fill something out doesn't mean you're going to be invited to it. But for me to do it as minimally as I did and to make $1,000 was a big deal. Because if I could have put an hour to 2 hours a day into it, even maybe 3 days a week, it would pay off. I would bet I could make a few $100s a month. And I have to be careful because of my income and my health insurance. I can't make over a certain amount. And that's a really disgusting place to be, but it is exactly where I'm at, and I can't lose that. So if you do, I would love to hear what your experience is with it. If you'd give it a try, let me know what happened. And then I will pass it on to them too, because they need to be putting out a code, for referrals. Really need to be putting out code referrals. So is anybody going to be doing anything for Thanksgiving, going somewhere else other than where you're at? We will be staying at home and having my nephew over and his wife and maybe some of their grandkids. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But at least this year, I'll be able to prepare a good portion of that Thanksgiving meal. I have not prepared a Thanksgiving meal in about 3 or 4 years because I was not able to. And I have been the preparer. Okay, family visiting from out of town, hopefully. Well, I hope it's a wonderful Thanksgiving and that your family is safe in travel, that everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. More than my usual visits. Okay. Well, we have a lot of family in town, but they all have families. And so normally when my parents were alive, everybody would come to their house. But my parents, my mother died 35 years ago. My son was 9 months old and he's 35. So around 36 years ago. And my father passed 4 or 5 years ago. And so people now go and hang out with their children and their families, because most of them are married now. But my nephew is like my child. He is, for all intents and purposes, a son. My sister, his mother, died about 25 years ago. And so William and his sister, Jennifer, will not be here. She's living in Tennessee right now. Not sure what you're doing. Maybe stay home and have pizza. Oh, well, I'm sure that's an option, Catherine, but how about, is your church doing anything for Thanksgiving? Or is maybe a community dinner? And Richard says hello. I would love to go to a big community dinner. I think it would be very fun and interesting. And so, yes, I really would love to go to something like that. It would be, able to talk to people that I've never met, and I enjoy that. And so I would love to have that opportunity, but I don't know of any that are happening right now. The Mission, I know, has one, of course. There used to be another big community dinner, but when COVID happened, it stopped. Everything went away. And so even though it's long gone as far as being shut down, Catherine says hello back, Richard. And so it is sad that stopped, because it was a tradition for many families to go and help at that dinner and to give back to the community, and then be able to have dinner with those folks as well. So it was a collaborative effort. And I got to participate in something this last weekend. I need a new shoulder, and I really need one. It's my left shoulder is, as it turns out, I know that I need a new shoulder. I was told that 5 years ago, but I had x-rays about 6 weeks ago done, and it's collapsed in on itself, my left shoulder. And so I have pain from here to here constantly, and certain movements are especially painful. But when will I get the new shoulder? I have no idea. I dread it. I dread it, because I've had 3 shoulder surgeries in the past. Years ago, 3 shoulder surgeries, 2 on the right and 1 on the left, and they bind your arm. You're bound. You cannot, it's bound up. It has to be in order for your shoulder to heal correctly. And so I'm very claustrophobic, and I'm afraid it will really exacerbate my claustrophobia. Really afraid of that. But I can't really, it's really hindering my functioning, my happiness, and my ability really to fully heal my back, because it makes movement hard, really hard, dreadful at times. At night, I'm at a point where, like, holding my phone, I'm laying on my bed like this, and holding my phone up just creates this awful deep ache in my arm, and it's hard to comfort it, for lack of a better word. It's hard to comfort my arm, because it just says, no, I don't want that. I want you to fix me. And so I know I'm going to have to do it, and I'm going to have to buck up and just do what I need to do. And so I dread it. And I probably will have to go to rehab immediately after for a short time, maybe a couple weeks. But I just dread it. I dread it. So, but that's what if I want to move past where I'm at, that's what I'm going to have to do. Just the way it is. All right. Well, we're at 4:59. I am so sorry about the game. By next week, I will have a game that actually works for all of us to play, because that's my goal. And we will be, hopefully by next week, there will be no concern for rodents. Please pray that for me, because you have no idea the terror I have and what will happen if I ever come face to face with one of those little nasty creatures. I don't like them. I don't want to like them. I don't have to like them. And I want them gone. So that's just my end of things with them. All right. Well, thank you guys for showing up and hanging out for a few minutes. I appreciate it very much. And I hope that I see you again soon. I hope that whatever happens over the next week, that you have a beautiful week, that it's safe and that you stay healthy, and that we all find our passion, know what it is, and engage with it, because we never know when we don't have another option to do it. All right. Have a blessed night.